Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show, where you'll find health and fitness inspiration, motivation, and information shared in 15-minute episodes. Tune in while getting a move on to make leading and enjoying the benefits of a healthy lifestyle almost too easy. It's the Fit 15. And now your host, Catherine Basu.
Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show. I'm your host, Catherine Basu. And first, I want to start off by wishing you a happy August. If you are tuning in the day this episode is scheduled to go live, it is August 1st, 2019, and a new month, not a Monday, but definitely a good excuse for a fresh start. So I hope you are taking some time today to make a fresh start, whether it's in relationship to your fitness routine. I was going to say relation to, which I think is the correct grammar. But since I said relationship, fitness routine, relationships, having healthier relationships, however you want to take that, healthy food choices that you're making, definitely take today to make a fresh start on whatever you are looking to work on right now, something that you've been saying you're going to do but haven't quite gotten to yet that would make August a better month for you, or really whatever month it is when you're tuning in. I know many of you might tune into this episode not in August, because while it is the start of a new month, today's episode is the end of this current season of the Fit 15 because it is episode 200. So really had a wonderful season. I'm excited to still share today's episode with you, but wanted to let you know that this is not a typical episode, at least when it comes to the day-to-day of the show, in case you are new here or haven't tuned in for a while. Instead of doing what I normally do about 90% of the time, which is having an awesome guest on the show to share his or her fitness or health-related information. So maybe a registered dietitian coming on to share some science-based food tips, or physical therapist, other type of health professional, physician coming on to share education, or someone who is sharing their fitness journey with you in order to share some fitness inspiration and motivation with you. That's what normally happens here on the Fit 15. And in a normal season, which did not happen so much this season, and I do apologize for that, but I appreciate those of you who were bearing with me. In a normal season, I release a new episode every day of the work week. So there's 5 episodes a week, which is a lot, but episodes are designed to be about 15 minutes in length. And even when they're not 15 minutes, I do share a little sound bite at the 7.5 minute mark for you, which I will do today, in order to help you put into action what was shared in the intro, but you might not have noticed if you're a new listener. And that is to help you actually get out there and use the episode to get in an out and back walk. And if you've been walking for a while and have the time, jog or run. And I do that so that even if you only have 15 minutes in your day and you can't break a sweat, you're still able to gain all the amazing benefits of getting moving, even at a low level of output when it comes to your heart rate and your cardiovascular fitness there in a given day. So there's so many benefits that can come from getting in double that, 30 minutes of walking 5 days a week, so 150 minutes total throughout the week. But you can actually tap into a lot of the feel-good benefits if you get moving for as few as 15 minutes a day. And so my goal with the podcast has always been to help you get to experience the benefits of moving more for yourself, whether that's by inspiring you to get moving later on in your day after hearing the inspiration and information shared by guests on the show, or by actually going out there and getting moving with us during your time listening to the podcast. So that's a little bit more about the podcast itself, in case you have not been here or not been here in a while. I did mention that there were some unplanned breaks, or the season did not go 100% to plan, and some of those things were more planned than others. I did go to the London Marathon a little bit last minute, so I took a break while I was in London in Europe, and I did get to experience some fitness facilities in Europe during this trip. Normally, when I travel, I just go running and get to see more of a city in a shorter amount of time than I would by just walking. But I had a stress fracture that kept me from being able to run as much as I would have wanted to do. Actually, I wasn't able to run when I was in Europe, which was really sad, but I did get to enjoy watching a client run the London Marathon and get to experience that amazing race. So anyways, long story short, that was one of our breaks that happened that was semi-planned. I didn't know I was going to be able to pull that off initially. Some breaks were a little bit longer and not planned. I had a move that was thrown in there unexpectedly. But I'm telling you this because I really, truly do want to have the podcast being released every day during the work week so that you're able to do what I want to inspire you to do, which is get moving for at least 5 days a week for at least 15 minutes. So that being said, I'm not going to announce an official date for the podcast to come back for the next season because I will pick the date based on when I get 2 months worth of episodes recorded. So I have been working on that behind the scenes, have some great guests planned for you, but I would also love to make sure that while I'm finding guests, that they are guests whose stories and or information are ones that you want to hear about. So please reach out to share your thoughts on what you'd like the focus of the next season to be, just different insights you'd like to hear about, topics you'd like to have covered. The best way to get in touch is always my email, podcast@fitarmadillo.com. That's podcast@fitarmadillo.com. And for taking the time to share your feedback, I am going to do something special, which is offer a signed hardback copy of my book, Superwomen Secrets Revealed. Successful women talk about fitting and fitness and dare you to join them, which is going to be released as a paperback this fall to one lucky emailer a month in August, September, and if we're not back by October, in October as well. Guys, we are at that 7.5 minute mark. Here is that soundbite to officially remind you to turn around if you are out on that out and back walk and only have 15 minutes. There it is. There it was. Okay, turn around if you need to. Back to what I was saying, though, really want to incentivize you to send me an email with your feedback. So either nominating a guest or a topic that you'd like to hear about. And then once a month, I will be picking someone that's emailed and sending out that signed hardback. So really excited about that. Hope that you will share your feedback by going to your email and typing in podcast@fitarmadillo.com in the to space. Okay, so that's your incentive for sending in notes. One other thing I wanted to mention that I will share about hopefully today, if not tomorrow, on my Facebook page is that I'm going to be going to an event next week at the beginning of the week, August 6th, which should be a Tuesday. And that is going to be an event all about runners' injuries. It's something that is designed for physical therapists. So I'm really excited to be going to this and would love to bring any questions you have on specific running injuries. I'm going to reach you some of the topics that will definitely be covered. So starting out here, I'm just looking at the schedule for you. So biomechanics of running is one of the talks. Avoiding common training errors is another topic. So if you have questions on biomechanics or training errors, let me know. Training in general, let me know. Then we'll get into nutrition, food for thought, and recovery. Happy to bring any of your questions on nutrition that's specific to runners to this talk, this training session. And then also managing running overuse. Is it just orthopedic? So if you've been told you have a running overuse injury, I'll bring some questions to that. And then there's some breakdown sessions that I'm going to try to change, so I will let you know what I end up getting into later. After that, nuances of track and field injuries. So if you have an injury that's related to track and field specifically, and you know that's where it came from, I might be able to help you with that. Send in some questions about that. And then we have the lifespan of a runner seen through injury. So I'm sure there'll be some interesting talks there and notes there. If you have any questions about injuries throughout your running career, I'm sure I could bring those to that part of the talk. Also, we'll be talking about mental health, then functional return to running, and finally, core alternative treatment for tendinitis, as well as management and some socializing. So let me know, running injuries can be very varied. I know that didn't even cover many of the most common running injuries in general, just noted in that rundown of the different topics that will be covered at that event, but can't hurt to reach out, and I will definitely try to get some of the speakers that I enjoy and some of the people I meet at this event, some of the physical therapists on the show. So your questions are definitely welcome on running. And for those of you who are not on my running email list, my runner's email list, and you are a runner, go to fitarmadillo.com/runners to get on that. It's FitArmadillo, which is my fitness company, .com/runners. And I'm looking to do some more running focused group programs. I had a request for that, but I do offer one-on-one running training, and I can also come to your fitness facility to do a workshop, all-day workshop for your running community and or personal trainers and fitness professionals that would like to get continuing education credits. I'm an ACE certified personal trainer, and taking this course actually was able to get me all my credits for 2 years. So it's a very good course and one I'd recommend and I can offer to your community. So reach out on that as well. Easiest way is always podcast@fitarmadillo.com for emailing me. And if you want to just get on that runner's email list, fitarmadillo.com/runners. All right, so today's episode was supposed to be all about the countdown, and I have just been super chatty. But in the countdown, believe it or not, a lot of our top 5 episodes, these last 50 episodes, were about running. So let's get into this countdown here. I'm going to actually count down 6 episodes for you because one of them was one of my episodes where I was the only one speaking, and I don't know if that should really count. So we are going to do number 5, that I guess is technically number 6, and then we'll work our way up to number 1, most listened to episode of the show. All right, are you guys ready? Here we go. So the 5th most listened to episode of the show was Becoming a Marathoner with Courtney Poulos, part 2. So Courtney and I spoke for a while on her journey to becoming a marathoner, which happened just a few months ago, and we broke it up into 2 episodes because, as Courtney joked about when she shared about this on her own social media accounts, how can you tell if someone is a marathoner? Don't worry, they'll tell you. And I missed my marathon I was supposed to run in April, so I was really excited and egging Courtney on as she shared more about her marathon journey. So really excited about that. Head on over to the show notes to find that episode, which was released in May. All right. Becoming a Marathoner with Courtney. Courtney has also been on the show other times as well. She was on to talk about running while pregnant. That was her first episode. And then she's also produced some materials, some printables for runners. So really great resources. And we talked about that in another episode. Thank you, Courtney, for being a part of the Fit 15 family and sharing your inspiration with my other guests, and also the general listeners. Really appreciate you and can't wait to continue to follow your running journey as well. All right, number 4, 4th most popular episode was running tips from Fleet Feet West Hartford owner Stephanie Blosey. Stephanie, congratulations on getting into the top 5. Loved this episode. Love Stephanie. Love Fleet Feet. I actually need to go and get some extra socks. I can't actually buy my shoes in store anymore, guys, because my feet are so wide and my bunions have been bothering me. Might be a little bit of TMI, but most stores don't. Actually, I don't think of any stores purposefully stock my size. But I still go to Fleet Feet and shop there and buy fun things, and you should too. So check that out if you're in West Hartford, Fleet Feet West Hartford. They have great events that they host as well, running events, and I'm hoping to get out to one soon. So if you are in West Hartford, keep an eye out for me. Wednesday and Saturday should still be their times. And thank you, Stephanie, for being on the podcast and for putting me in touch with some of the other guests who have been on the show. So if you guys missed it, there was another episode more recently with the Winding Trails Triathlon Series director, which is a summer triathlon series here in Connecticut that you should go check out. And that connection and guest was shared with me through Stephanie. Okay, moving on here. The third most downloaded episode was High Five greeting card founder Claire Richmond. Congratulations, Claire. Claire makes amazing greeting cards that are ones that should be seen maybe one day in Fleet Feet stores, whether it was Hartford or elsewhere. But she had a really great card that was Keep Running with a T-Rex on it that is super cute, and I've sent out to several clients, and she's amazing. So she shares her founder journey, really, and about those greeting cards. Claire has changed things in her business a little bit since we spoke. So she's focused more on the thank you cards in particular. But head on over to that episode, check it out, and try to get some cards from Claire. They're all gorgeous, and in this day and age where we're just getting most of our mail is just bills and junk mail, I think it's great to send a handwritten card. And it's actually one of the tips that is how I, in a way, it's related to one of the tips that got me to create this podcast show, The Fit 15. Because both the tip to share your gratitude and the tip to get moving for 15 minutes in a given day come from my favorite TED Talk with Shawn Achor, who is super inspirational and amazing and has a great TED Talk that you should check out. And also actually shared some advanced praise for my book that I was telling you could get a signed hardback copy of if you nominate a guest or a topic when I do one of those giveaways. But his TED Talk is one you definitely have to watch, but he shares insights into how you can become happier. And it's not through becoming successful. We actually become successful when we're happier. And to become happier, you can actually do some small things. And one of them is getting moving for at least 15 minutes. Shawn calls this the Fun 15. But another thing is to express your gratitude, and he encourages you to do that by telling someone that you are grateful for them. It doesn't have to be through a written card. An email can do the trick, but why not do a beautiful written card, handwritten card with a beautiful design from Claire Richmond to share with a friend? So congrats, Claire, on being in our countdown, and thank you for all the beautiful cards you've given me to give away to clients, and people have been loving them, so I really appreciate that. They make me smile. Okay, moving on up. Second most listened to episode of the podcast was with founder of New Orleans Jogging Tours, Marcus, who shared his fitness journey with us. I was able to meet Marcus when I was in New Orleans last year and trying to follow my dad's advice, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's a never-ending battle here. I don't know if he's listening to this episode. Probably not, but he's pretty busy, and I don't know how tech savvy he is with podcasts. Maybe you guys will tag him in this somewhere on Facebook or share the link from iTunes with him and challenge him to listen. But I was trying to listen to him and find someone or some group to run with while I was in New Orleans, and I found that there are actually jogging tours offered, and so I was able to enjoy this jogging tour and meet Marcus, the founder, and invite him on the podcast. And that's what the episode's all about. And it ended up becoming one of our top 2. So I made fun of my dad for not keeping up to date with the podcast, but thank you, Dad, for this indirect tip, getting me in touch with Marcus. And long story short, if you're in New Orleans, whether you're considering yourself a real hardcore runner or just getting into running or doing walk-run intervals, you'll be able to enjoy this jogging tour. You can also tell Marcus if you'd prefer to have a more intense run, but it really is a tour, and you'll get to stop and take pictures, and Marcus knows New Orleans really well, and he'll tailor the tour to your group. So don't be shy about sharing feedback. He is absolutely amazing, and he will take great pictures. I have a lot of pictures that I still haven't shared all of them. I had my own private photo shoot in New Orleans, not in Los Angeles. Although I did later have a great photo shoot in Los Angeles that I'm needing to share photos with, but that's a digression in itself. But definitely go check that out. New Orleans isn't just about eating great, delicious, yummy food and listening to great music. You can also enjoy a wonderful jogging tour with Marcus, and I hope you'll listen to the podcast episode to hear about his fitness journey and to learn more about the jogging tours that he offers in his city. All right, and finally, the number one episode from the last 50 episodes was qualifying for the Boston Marathon, Catherine Westenfeld's journey. So congratulations, Catherine, on getting the number one spot. I really enjoyed talking to you. Catherine was actually on the show for 2 episodes. So not only did she share her journey to qualifying, which is always an inspirational story, no matter who you get to hear from, I think. As a runner, I love hearing Boston Marathon qualifying stories. But she also shared with us her experience on Marathon Monday this year itself. So you can check that out. That was number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It was the 9th most listened to episode. So it was down there a little bit from the qualifying story journey, which is interesting to me. But Catherine, you're amazing. You got in the top 10 for 2 episodes. I appreciate you sharing all your time chatting. And can you guys see the common theme here? When I talk to marathoners, I let them live up to that meme that you have probably seen on Facebook somewhere, which is, how do you know someone's run a marathon? Don't worry, they'll tell you. But it's in a great way, because I love hearing about marathoners. And apparently you guys do too, because we had several marathoners in the top 10. The other marathoner that I did not mention yet was Dave Bloomquist, who shared a very inspirational journey from couch potato to marathoner at age 50. You want to hear that story as well if you missed that one. So that's another bonus episode. And I think I said congratulations to Catherine already. If not, Catherine, another congratulations, because you had those 2 episodes in the top 50 for this season. You're amazing. And she's been really rocking it this summer of the 5K, summer of speed work. So go check out her Instagram and follow along and cheer her on and see how things are going with her running journey as it's continuing this summer and into the fall. I think you'll have fun doing that. And what else do I want to say to you guys? Okay, so running has been a good theme, but let me know. Do you still want to hear about runners? Do you not want to hear about runners? I don't know. You'll have to tell me. So go to podcast@fitarmadillo.com or email podcast@fitarmadillo.com to share your feedback on what you want to hear about in the next season. That will come sometime in the fall. Once I have my 2 months solid episodes recorded, so that you can have 2 solid months of being reminded to get out there and get moving during your busy work week, I will post that date. So I hope you get to catch up on the past season of episodes. Definitely these ones that have made it to the top 5 and more. And oh yes, I was going to tell you guys before I distracted myself about one last episode that was officially in the top 5, but I'm not going to tell you the place it was in. It was the one that I recorded just myself speaking, so I almost didn't want to mention it, but it was in there, and I'm trying to keep myself honest here, and you might find it interesting too. So the episode was 8 cardio moves for your home workout routine. This was a excuse me. I'm overcoming a cold here, and I am going to apologize because I do not plan on going back and editing some of the places where I probably should have had a glass of water or slow down my speaking. I hope that's okay. I will be better in the next season, I promise. But this was a series of 3 episodes of the podcast that I did, 1 a week. And they were kind of way back Wednesday episodes. I think I released them on Wednesdays from videos I had recorded in Florida several years ago. I'm trying to remember how many years back it was. But when I was visiting my grandmother, and then I went to go visit her, and I remembered that I had recorded these videos to share different moves that you could do, different exercise moves that you could do from home or a park and get in a good workout without having a lot of equipment. But I had never shared them on my YouTube channel. So I shared them on the YouTube channel, but also talked to you about them in the podcast. And I guess the cardio workout one was very popular. So check that out if you're interested, and then definitely check out the series. I would recommend, though, to just go to the show notes and probably go and check out the moves in the description, or really to see the video version of them versus to listen to the podcast. But you know what? I leave that up to you because it made it to the top 5. So apparently people liked it in some way. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to Just Me today. I cannot wait to hear about the podcast guests and topics that you want to hear from this fall. Please nominate them. The sooner you nominate them, the sooner the podcast will come back, because I will have an idea of interviews I should book. And I'm sure I'll be excited to interview these people for you. And what else did I want to say? Oh, I did mention this last week on Friday when I released a teaser episode, but on Fridays when the podcast comes back, we'll be doing Female Founder Fridays. So if you know of a female founder who either works in fitness or, even better, uses her fitness routine to fuel what she does in her business, I would love to hear her fitness journey, fitness story, and how that connects to her business goals, and share that with you to inspire you, because I could tell you to work out for, the health reasons, but there's so many people out there, I think, right now that are trying to start a side hustle or start a business, and often it can be tempting to put your health on hold. And that's actually part of how I got into writing my book that I talked about before, which was just hearing lots of stories from people who were my peers, fellow entrepreneurs who stopped working out when they started their businesses and struggled and realized that it could have helped them during their business and founder journey. So that's what I want to do on the podcast, is just bring that story, bring those insights to you from different women on Fridays once we bring the podcast back. If you can't wait for that, there's one episode already with Hera Hub Phoenix founder Shaza Barber, who I haven't been able to meet yet, but I did get to go check out her space. And I did that because I'm looking for spaces to host book tour events in the fall and beyond. And if you've read the book, which is Superwomen Secrets Revealed, Successful Women Talk About Fitting in Fitness and Dare You to Join Them, you know that in the book I had Felina Hansen. Sorry, I should probably re-record that, but I'm probably not, guys. I'm sorry. I'm tired. It's been a busy week. But Felina is amazing. I have met her a few times, and she started Hera Hub, which is a co-working space that is female-focused, spa-inspired, really beautiful. There's locations in California, Phoenix, DC, and also there is one in Sweden. I think those are all the ones that are out there right now, but it is an international group of co-working spaces, and they're beautiful. And Felina was in the book to share her founder and fitness journey. So definitely am looking forward to hosting an event in Phoenix. So if you are in Phoenix or have a place that you'd like me to come to on book tour, let me know. You can reach out about that. We'll just say the same thing, podcast@fitarmadillo.com, to pitch a location for the book tour and or learn more about the book, order a copy. I do still have some hardbacks on hand, but very limited numbers. So you can get in on that. If you want to request a book, I can send you a signed hardback if you want to order from me. Podcast at Fit Armadillo is the best way, and I look forward to getting the paperback out there and meeting many of you on book tour this fall. If you want to be on the launch team for the paperback, I will definitely appreciate support for that in terms of sharing when that's released at a minimum. And of course, buying a copy of the book for yourself and for friends is always appreciated as well. So reach out about that. And I think that's all I have for you guys really for today. Now we're getting to 30 minutes. Oh my goodness. But thank you again to everyone who made it to the top 5 of the last 50 episodes this season. We had, should I repeat them for you again? Let's do it. Becoming a marathoner. Oh goodness. Becoming a marathoner with Courtney. Part 2 was number 5. We had running tips from Fleet Feet West Hartford owner Stephanie was number 4. We had High Five greeting card founder Claire Richmond for number 3. We had Marcus, founder of New Orleans Jogging Tours, sharing his fitness journey for number 2. And number 1 was the amazing Catherine Westenfeld sharing her journey qualifying for the Boston Marathon. Listeners, thank you for a wonderful season. Guests, thank you for a wonderful season. Congratulations on making it to the top 5. And I look forward to chatting with you in the next season. Send in those requests. And one other thing, I did do a fitness challenge for you this week. Not fitness, a health-related challenge for you this week. So check that out by listening to my episodes with the CEO and president of Produce for Better Health Foundation, Wendy. This was an unofficial challenge from Wendy's side, but if you start sharing your hashtags, I know that Wendy offered to throw in some extra swag, so we'll have an unofficial announcement on that. But definitely the next week, share hashtagged photos. I should never talk for more than 15 minutes. This was a bad idea. I apologize. Hashtagged photos of you with your fruit and veggie focused snacks, meals, etc. And follow me on Instagram. Follow me at Fit Armadillo because I've been a little bit lax on the Fit 15 Instagram page. But I will be taking you behind the scenes as I get ready to do my own new idea for a fruit and or veggie focused, you'll have to see, item to bring to a party I'm going to this weekend. So make sure you're following me to go behind the scenes and then see the final product. All right, guys, have a wonderful rest of your day. First day of August, and stay tuned. You can get on our A-list, fitarmadillo.com/A-list to make sure you are notified when the podcast is back in case you're like me and I don't know, I don't always see my podcast iTunes notifications because I'm not always listening to podcasts these days because I have to listen to my own. So I get a little podcast listening to overwhelmed. Oh my goodness. It's past the time, guys. I gotta let you go. I'm gonna ramble way too much. I hope you've enjoyed the episode, even though it's been longer, and I look forward to your feedback and maybe seeing you out on book tour this fall. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your support. Do me a favor. Don't review this episode, but review the podcast in general and share your favorite episode, whether it's from this season or not, with friends and family so that they can get inspired to get out there and get moving, which is my main purpose of the podcast. It's definitely not to hear myself speak because I think I'm going to wing this and not even go back and listen to it. I'm afraid. But I appreciate you. Thanks for listening till the end. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Fit 15. For show notes and more, visit fitarmadillo.com/podcast. See you next time.